Right, hello everyone. Good evening. How are we all doing today? It's our day went well, and we're all back from our day's hustle. Apologies for joining late. Can you just confirm if you can hear me? Okay, so as in our usual custom, thank you, follower, for confirming. Um, so how did our day go? I will go first. My day went fine. My 9 to 5 wasn't as stressful as I would have imagined it would go. I'm back home. I'm here for you guys now. So let me hear it. Let me have it. Well, how has your day gone so far? Ajayi Bukola, great. Awesome. Thanks, Amber. Bernice, it's nice to see you here. Hi. Good evening, Mary. Good evening, Toke. Tosin, good evening. Thank you for confirming promise. Ola, Niposi, Ogunlola. My day went well. Thank you for asking. Abigail, yes, I'm fully recovered. I am still trying hard to stay away from cold drinks. But yeah. Thank you for checking in. Okay, so Doctor says she had a busy day. I hope your day is already turning like it's almost coming to like a um to an end, so you're able to rest. Okay, Wumi. Thank you, Wumi. It's great to know that you all pay that much attention. So I feel loved. Thank you. All right, Felix. I will stay away from cold drinks. I promise. Good evening. Welcome, Dorcas Ololade. Lawal. Yes, I have fully recovered. Thank you for checking in. Okay, so being melt. Okay, you're still at work. Thank you for still making time, regardless of you being at your place of work. Thank you. Today's session is going to be more practical, and I know I started on Monday throwing you all into real life preparedness, and this today I want to take a step further to introduce you all into freelancing platforms for virtual assistants. As we all know, I know many of us will start, applying for jobs before you can, probably land a sort of semi-permanent contracts where virtual assistants we always like to try our luck freelancing. That's where we get mini contracts to work on. So today I will take you all through the introductory part of freelancing. Yes, Gloria, I'm feeling a lot better. Thank you. So we use 3 more minutes to catch up on our days and send in our salutations before, and then this will give time. This will give like a period of grace for people that will join us late. So let me continue. Oh, blessing, my day, my day went well. Okay, I'm glad your day went well too. My health is fine. I am very fine. Thank you. Been well, okay. Um, Good evening, Peter. Good evening, Sil. Good evening, Wande, Joy. I'm sorry if I don't pronounce your name. Professional socials. That's the LinkedIn, Upwork, and Twitter. Did any of us try to like just go do an update? Well, I didn't because I've been busy. That's not an excuse, but yeah, I hope you all did take intentional um, actions regarding that as virtual assistants that are just, entering into the field. That is like in you, like it should be like the third activity to check off your to-do list as you prepare the world for your coming. Okay, it's good to see that Lawal is working on that. That's good. Well done, Lawal. And sorry, Candy. Oh yes, Olani, I'm fine. Patience, it's good to have you here. Oh, Fumilayo, your day was stressful. Sorry to hear that. I hope you get to rest after today's session. Good evening, Johnson Grace. Welcome. Okay, so so this session will officially start, has officially started. Okay, so once again, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to um, Digital Skill Up Africa Virtual Assistance Training. Today, as I mentioned earlier, we will be diving into a very practical and exciting topic, which is freelancing platforms for virtual assistants. By the end of today's session, the objective for today's session is so you understand how to navigate freelancing platforms, create standout profile, and apply for jobs confidently while staying away from scams, because there's a lot of scam sites out there who will just want you. Well, we'll get into that right now. So just before I go into all of this, when you hear when someone mentions freelancing, can any of you tell me what you understand by freelancing? So I just asked a question. When you hear the word freelancing, what comes to mind? Hmm. No, Grace. No, no. So freelancing doesn't mean you're working for free. No, it just doesn't. It's not. So don't take the word definition as it is. I will in a minute tell you what freelancing is, but for a fact, freelancing doesn't mean rendering free services. Well, Joel, working from your comfort zone isn't necessarily freelancing. It isn't. Working remotely isn't freelancing too. Awesome, Amber. That is a way to put it. Working on contracts, you are your own, you are working on contract. You don't have an agency that has your contract is not long term based. You're working for multiple persons at a time. Yes, being well. Freelancing is being able to it's been open to many clients in your specialized trade, either physically or remotely. Yes, that is freelancing. Working for multiple clients remotely, that is freelancing. You are not committed to any organization, that is freelancing. Awesome. I'm really loving the reply. So, Fumila, working remotely doesn't necessarily mean you're freelancing, okay? I'll get to that in a minute, though. Getting to do payable tax remotely, working on yourself, working for yourself, yes. Working to get experience. I'm really getting a lot of interesting responses. Okay, so let's just start with freelancing is when you work for yourself and then you take on projects from different clients instead of just working for one particular, instead of dedicating yourself to one particular employer, you're taking you're taking on different projects from different clients. Now, I want you to think of yourself as a boss, and then you offer your services to clients who need help. And as a virtual assistant, those services vary. It can either be email management, it could be scheduling. It can some clients will want you to do some data entry tasks for them. Some would want you to come in and support them with their social media. Or yeah, so that's basically it. So freelancing is working for yourself, taking on projects from different clients instead of dedicating yourself to just one single employer. I hope this is, I hope I was able to simplify that definition for you. Okay, I'll just go on. So now, okay, do you have an idea or can you please share your thoughts on why you think people choose freelancing? Why do you think people prefer to do freelancing job than to dedicate themselves to one employer? I'll ask the question again. Why do you think people, or why do you think there are freelancers out there? Why do you think some people would rather be freelancers? Yes, it gives them freedom. You get to choose your hours depending on the contract. It creates flexibility. Yeah, Dorcas, that's an important one. You get to earn more as a freelancer. So, Mary Jane, freelancing doesn't necessarily pay you better, but for the fact that you're working for different clients, it simply means you're getting multiple streams of income from each of those clients. So, yeah, that's why it's in that aspect it is. But then there are some gigs from just a single employer that can pay you the total sum of five freelance jobs. So let's keep an open mind out there. Awesome. You can walk at your own pace. Yeah. But then, well, we're getting there. Mm, some really, really interesting responses. Okay. So now, here are some points I wrote down. So people choose or go for freelancing because one, it gives them flexibility. They get to decide when and where they work. People would rather be freelancers because it gives them global access. Now, in the sense that now instead of you working for one dedicated client who might be just, in California, as a freelancer, you are open to the web of maybe two to three other clients from across the world. Some people would rather be freelancers because it gives them more control over their time, their pay, and the pace at which they grow. Another reason why people would rather be freelancers is because of skill development. Now, every job builds their portfolio. So for every job you get, you just get to build, you get to like add it up, that experience to your portfolio. Then another reason, that's the one that comes with the name free, is the freedom. You get to avoid, well, it's still, it's still a perk for working remotely, which is the no office politics or the long commutes between places, just so you can get to your office and all of that. So yeah, that's a few reasons why. That's some reasons, some of the reasons, some of the key points or key reasons why people choose to be freelancers. All right, so platforms. Now, overview of free of top freelancing platforms. There are many platforms where you can start your freelancing journey, and we're going to look at the most popular ones for virtual assistants. Now, the one top of the list is Upwork. Now, on Upwork, you can apply to job posting. You can apply to job posts. Now, it is structured. Upwork is structured. It is client focused, and it is great. It's a great start for beginners because there you get to, you know, learn on the go based off the fact where you're going to like create your profile and start, beefing up your portfolios, and you just get to practicalize everything that you have learned from this session learning with DSE. Another platform is Fiverr. Now, Fiverr, um, you get to create services called gigs, and then clients come to you. Now, it's a very now for Fiverr, you get to advertise what you can do, and then these clients would come to you. For example, off the top of my head are graphic designers, where you'd go there and you have a portfolio to showcase your service, and then clients that want to look for labor will just go there and be like, oh, okay, I'm in touch with a virtual assistant, and then they'll just see your portfolio and they see you advertising yourself. Because I think on Fiverr you have to make like a 1 minute video recording telling people what you can do, and then if they are interested they come to you and then connect with you. Basically, it's good for it's a great platform for product services. Another platform is freelancer.com. There you get to bid for jobs. It's a little bit like Upwork, but on Freelancer it's very competitive because that platform is a little bit saturated right now. But it is useful. It is very useful if you're persistent, if you're consistent, if you're always holding yourself accountable to constantly updating yourself. On the long run, it will pay off. There's another platform called People Per Hour. That one is more popular in Europe, and it's similar to Fiverr and Up. There are remote job boards. There are sites like We Work Remotely or Remote OK. That those platforms, they just do job listings for virtual assistants and remote roles. There you just go to this website and then you go through the ads and then apply as you see fit. Okay, so now that I have shared with you the popular platforms, which two platforms do you think you are going to want to try out after you have, gone through this whole process of learning the art of, becoming a virtual assistant? I'll go first. When I started my journey after I graduated from ALX, I tried up on Fiverr and Upwork. I did not understand the user interface, but then I was able to learn how to position myself for prospect employers to see me and then, sell value. So, which platform do you think you would want to try out? People per hour, remote job boards. Okay, I'm seeing Upwork and Fiverr, Upwork and people per hour. Okay, Upwork and Fiverr, people per hour. Yeah, I'm getting awesome responses. Okay, so now let's go. The next part I wanted to discuss about is creating a standout profile. Creating a standout profile. That is your brand. This is where you are selling your services. Now, you want to know that your profile is your digital CV. It should be sharp, it should be clear, and it should be full of value. Um, okay, so let me look at this for a bit. You want to know that you want to be sure that your title is clear, niche specific. You want to be sure that your title is clear and is you have like a very specified niche, like the way I shared with you on Monday. You also want to be sure that you're using a compelling a compelling bio. That's where your UVP comes in. And then you want to list your service and your working rates. Then there is a portfolio session where you have to now start uploading your experiences and then highlight your skills. I put ALX certificate because I was saying, okay, just in case you've like, for example, okay, yeah, this certificate, DSA, I meant type. So you're now going to highlight your DSA certificate because yes, it's recognized. The certificate you're going to get after this course is recognized. At least this certifies you to be recognized. This says that, oh, I've gone through the grueling process of learning the nitty-gritties of becoming a virtual assistant, and now I am ready to offer you my services. Oh, Asha says she's in transit and the traffic is so, I'm sorry you're stuck in traffic, dear. I hope you're able to get the tiniest bit of knowledge I'm sharing right now. Well, I'm glad that this is a recorded session, so you can still come back to check what has been discussed. So now let's talk about how to structure your profile. The first thing you want to do is your profile title. You want to avoid generic titles like virtual assistant. Now, why I'm saying so is because everybody is not everybody is a virtual assistant, but everybody's using a lot of people are using virtual assistants. You be specific, something like reliable virtual assistant for inbox and calendar management. That's an example. Now, instead of just saying virtual assistant and then I have a calendar management or email management problem, I could just see this and be like, oh, okay, yeah, this person is good with, this person says he's reliable and the person can actually handle my inbox and calendar management. Well, okay, let me see if indeed the person, let me reach out to this person. So now, once you do that, you have used specific keywords to bring your client-centered keywords to bring your clients to you. Now, the next thing is the bio and overview. This is the part where you tell your story. You talk about what you do, your experience, and then what makes you unique. For example, for example, in my own bio, I could write something like, "Hello there, I'm Cynthia. I help busy professionals stay organized through expert inbox and calendar management. Let's make that chaos. Let's take that chaos out of your workflow." I think that's very simple. Yeah. And I could be an employer for labor, and I could see this and be like, "Oh, hi Cynthia. Oh, okay, this person wants to help me take out my chaos. Let me see what more this person has to offer me." And then I would, the prospect would now reach out to you. The third point for a well-structured profile is to outline the services you offer. You want to be clear about your skills. You want to, you want to say, I handle I'm proficient with email management, calendar scheduling, research, data entry, and I'm a great social media support. So yeah, if you're able to, so when you're writing down your profile, you're going to see there's going to be a section or a column that would want to capture the services that you intend to offer. Now, the fourth part of a well structured profile is the certification and your portfolio. So now this is where you are going to attach or upload your DSA certificates, or maybe you have done a couple of upskilling, and maybe from maybe Google or from Coursera. That's where so it's a certification session, that section that you now upload all of these certificates, so that they'll show, okay, this person has been trained, even if the person doesn't have even if the person doesn't have like existing portfolio or whatever, just this person at least has shown, or if you don't have like a sample of your work, this certificate helps to say, okay, this person has gone through the training. So yes, this person is ready to take up a task. Now, the next thing in your portfolio you want to set is your rates. You want to start with competitive rates. Now, then build them as you experience. Basically, that is me saying you start small, and then as you gain experience, your rate is going to increase. So that is when you now know, oh, my time should actually be valued for 350,000 naira for 8 hours of work, something like that. Okay. Next I want us to talk about is how to search and apply for jobs. Now, once your profile is ready, it is time to go job hunting. You want to start by filtering your search. Use keywords like virtual assistant, admin support, or even calendar management. And then you want to filter by budget or job type. Now, all of this is really important, so you don't just get to be thrown into a sea of jobs and then you're trying to find out which one is remote, which one is a virtual assistant, which one is for. So you just use the keyword and to filter your search. Next thing you want to do is to read job descriptions carefully. You want to understand what the client wants, and then look for key phrases like needs help with Gmail or requires task scheduling. Now, when you're reading the job description, it tells you exactly what this person or what this prospect employer wants you to do for them. And then if you are able to help in that capacity, you can now go ahead to apply. Now, the next thing to do when you want to, apply for a job is to write a strong proposal. And you want to customize your proposal for every job. You want to customize your proposal for every job advert. So there is a four-part format for writing a strong proposal. The first part is to greet them. That's your salutation. The second part is to introduce yourself. The third part is to match your skills to their needs. And then the fourth part is to end with a very friendly call to action, which is also called the CTA. CTA is called call to action. So I'll take that again. The four parts format for strong proposals is greet them, introduce yourself, match your skill to their need, and end with a friendly CTA. An example would be, hello dear, I am a virtual assistant with experience in managing busy inboxes and streamlining team calendars. I have worked with two startup founders to reduce email clutter and increase response time. I'd love to do the same for you. Let's chat. Now, hi is the greeting. Introduce yourself. I am a virtual assistant with experience in managing busy inboxes. You're introducing yourself. Now you want to match your skill to their need, which is I have worked with two startup founders. Excuse me. I have worked with two startup founders to reduce email clutters and reduce and increase response time. Now you have matched your skill to their need. Now the call to action is let's chat. The call to action simply is the next step. What this you have advertised, and now what do you want them to do? Do you want them to call you? Do you want them to text you? Do you want them to send you an email? That is what your call to action. So let's chat is more like a call to action. Okay, so Bina Mel says she has a question. What's your question before I continue? Does this search work for all platforms? Yes, every job platform um has a search option where you can streamline what it is, what services you want to offer. Profile and portfolio, resume and CV. Your profile is more like a digital card that tells people who you are. That profile would have your picture, your name, your area of expertise. It would have your qualification. Basically, it's just a one page that tells people who you are. Your portfolio. Your portfolio is where you put your certificates, the job you have done, and your experiences, so that people that are coming to offer your people that are coming to that are requesting for your service can see the previous work you've done or the trainings you have that can help them to trust you with the job they want to offer you. Resume and CV are the same thing. This is simply a one page, two-page document that tells people who you are, what you've done, and what you can offer. All of them put together gets you a job. Then you just let those platforms be. There are free platforms you can search for jobs on. I don't see the sense in paying for a software, and you're not even sure you're going to get a job in within the next few weeks. I won't lie, I have been naive, and I have, joined those jobs with Aramide, pay 5K to join my WhatsApp group so I can send you job links. And it's still from all of these job sites that they'll just copy and paste and dump it for you. It was over down the line that I learned all of this. So my best advice is no recruiter would want you to pay for a chance to know that, oh, they are offering jobs. As a beginner, that is the reason why you don't just learn and then you just go sit down. You have to be offering your service as much as you can for now, not necessarily free, but you try to help. Then you will then say, I have been trained, I have a certificate with DSA where I learned the skill of virtual assistant, and I would love to render my, so that there you are now offering your services to them. And then so there are some job roles that are beginner friendly. That's why you have to read the job description. Yes, you can use the toolkits that you are good with. Mm. For a virtual assistant, it's really tricky when it comes to the expected rate, because there are like a lot of us out there now. So now you should be ready to start collecting peanuts. I'm sorry to use that word, but that will give you at least your one leg in, you're gaining experience. And then over time you get to be appraised, and then you get to do a salary review depending on the company that you're working for. But if you're going to be paid in naira for 8 hours of work, the list you should be offered is 100,000 to 150,000 naira. It is advisable for professionals to assist one with proposal writing the time. I don't understand. Is it advisable that a professional assist one with proposal writing pending the time in beginning? Yes. Well, different strokes for different folks, melt. If you are, it's not just about having someone write your proposal for you, it's about you learning and being able to do that yourself. So yes, salami, yes, volunteering. That's why there is this. That's why you can start off as looking for a job as an intern. There you get to learn on the job, and there are some internship programs that pay their interns for while you're learning with them. Can someone include academic qualification degree or overall? It depends on, yeah, yes, you can put your school degrees there. I cannot say why Notion interface is confusing. It is, you just have to learn, you can use YouTube to help simplify it for you. It's 8 hours for a day, every day of the time they want you to be working with them for. You can update it. You can, that's, I think, Benson, Abigail Benson. You can update your profile with your newly acquired skill. There is no point having multiple profiles. A virtual assistant can be a copywriter. So just update your profile with the new skill that you have acquired. For the question that Grace just asked, Grace, this is where self help comes into play. I can only give you the basic knowledge while you would go and get in depth on your own. For the time allocated, I did the little that I could. I shared light. I introduced you to this platforms. I know I mentioned it I mentioned it over and over again that it is advisable to go get knowledge on your own self help. And I even shared platforms that you could go research and get this done. I promise you, even if I had done a DIY on how those platforms were going to be used, not many would understand. That is the reason why I said go to YouTube, do a quick Google YouTube search on do a quick YouTube search on those platforms you're having difficulty with, and you're going to see that it will be simplified, and then you can watch on your own pace. It's going to be for a month as it's being paid. It depends on. So there's something I would like to advise us on. In as much as everybody wants to make profit, everybody wants to make money, you have to learn, you have to earn the experience before you can start dancing about how much is what and not. You have to be patient and you have to be grateful, as it takes a lot of time, personal money, to even start making money on the long run, in a long run. So let's try and first of all be grateful for the experiences that you have learned now for free. I know that many of us will say, oh, I use my data, oh, my phone is always getting hot. It is you investing in yourself. You're going to invest in yourself so you can reap the amount that you want. So that's why I keep saying hold yourself accountable to be better. The best that DSA has done is to offer you this opportunity to learn this. What you owe yourself is to now build on what you have now been introduced to. If you didn't know that, what's the most relatable I can come up with right now? Okay. If I tell you, if I tell you that you can transfer files and pictures and even documents from a laptop to a phone without the use of a transfer code. I have just introduced you to new knowledge. Now, I can decide to say for 5,000 naira, I'm going to show you how this can be achieved. That's way one. Now, if you pay this 5,000 naira, I get to show it to you. Or you can decide to go to Google. Is it possible to transfer documents from laptop to phone without the use of a transfer code? If I throw that question to Google, I bet you that I'm going to get a lot of responses and YouTube links to see how it is done. I will spend money, which is my data, what I have invested in myself. Now you get to choose how much you spend on your investment. Okay, let's see. So Grace says, I'm struggling to do the project honestly without the resources. So explain to me, share with me what it is, the resources that you are, share with me the resources that you don't have and that is making you struggle with your project. How do you introduce yourself as a novice? I mean, with no job experience. With no job experience, you would then replace it by saying, I have been certified by this, that, that. I have acquired knowledge from this, that, that. And I look forward to applying this knowledge to your, organization if given the opportunity to. So, yeah. I'm sorry about Victor. I'm sorry about that, Victory. To hear that your laptop got stolen, it's indeed a very huge loss. I pray that you get the means to replace it as soon as possible. Abigail, you just have to keep building your portfolio. You just have to keep trying and you are applying and offering your service. Believe you me, you don't necessarily need to gain experience online before you can add it to your portfolio. Even working physically in whatever it is that you're doing, whatever niche it is, you can use that as to add to your portfolio. As a copywriter, you can post samples of your work if your work doesn't have any patent attached to it. You can post samples of your work. That is your portfolio. I mean, if you are a copywriter, you must have had a couple of gigs that you have done and something that you can use to advertise to people. Basically, that is it. But now, instead of doing this physically, you're now doing it on your laptop. Do not misconstrue the fact that don't think that virtual assistant work is, yes, it's easier with the laptop. That is when you want to go off the whole physical. But then, if you've had physical experience, you can add that to your portfolio. Mm, 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 mm. Um, Honestly, there is I think gray. I use gray, so you can use gray. And most of this foreign, you can use your bank, your local bank. They have their international um franchise. So I think it's made easy now. Money transfer into directly into currencies has now there. It's very very easy. So it's not like before where you have to have like a designated channel to send money. Money transfer has now been made easy. Helen says, I missed the last quiz. Please, how can I rewrite the quiz? Tech team, can you please assist with that question? Yeah, agree. I did buy your, yes, great. It's just that it hasn't been active for a while. Mhm. Manola, you'd have to, start the video. It's recorded, so you have to start all the way from the beginning, and then I'm sure you'll be able to catch up. Yes, you can, Gloria. You can just update your information. All right, people. My favorite hour has. Okay, so what task are you talking? I know I've given you a lot of tasks, but then my assistants are the ones in charge of tracking them. So if you can please be specific as to which of the tasks you're talking of. I haven't written any quiz before. Sorry about that. The quizzes are meant to hold you all accountable for the knowledge you have acquired. And if you haven't done any, it simply means that you don't try to hold yourself accountable, which is bad. I'll say it as it is. You have to hold yourself accountable. Oh, I know there's a quiz. Let me try and do it. Even if there is no means of submission, just do it and then wait for and then you don't necessarily need to write it online and keep. You can just write it down on a piece of paper and keep and know that yes, I've done it. So that when they finally say, oh, submission is now open, you can just go. All you need to do is just to transfer it from paper to the digital screen and you submit. Anyway, guys, my favorite is normally I would give us a break at 7:50 so we can get like 10 minutes break, but now this is 7:56. So we are I have been an admin for a while. Okay. Yes. It is all in how you structure your branding. You just have to brand yourself and sell yourself. The assistants online, can you please look out for Joy Victor's question and give a guided response? Thank you. All right, everybody, it's time for our break. We're going to go on a break and we'll be back at exactly 10 minutes past 8. So remember that your attendance will be open by 8 p.m. So please be on standby. Take this time out to go take water and And yeah, I will see you all by 10 minutes past the hour. 8 tech team, please take us on break. Hi, everyone. Welcome back from our break. I hope we've all been able to sign our attendance and we've had a little bit of stretch and taken water. Thank you, Amber. You're always here. Awesome, awesome, Justina. Thank you, Bagdami Damola. All right. So let us continue with introducing you to the world of freelancing. So, we have discussed how to search and apply for jobs. Next is the red flags and scams to avoid. The world of freelancing is amazing. Trust me, it is. There are a lot of job opportunities out there, but it also has risk. And here is what to do to avoid this risk. Now, if they ask you to pay for on the job training, that is, for example, uh, okay, so we have the job, but you need to pay us to teach you how to do the job before you now start doing the job. Something like that. That's a scam. Two, if they want to, if they start telling you to share any sort of password, it's a scam. Please don't go there. If they start offering very unrealistic pays like $500 per hour, and then you're seeing the job responsibilities is the job description is easy peasy, it's probably just a scam, and if you click on it, they want to just have access to your details. Now, if they refuse to use the platform's messaging or payment system, like for Upworks, they say, no, let's go outside Upworks. Please don't. Because Upworks, Fiverr, most of these remote platforms that offer, employer versus employee interfacing, they have an escrow system. An escrow system is an account that the software keeps, like the software has created some sort of account where the employer gets to pay your salary into that account, and then platform will hold on to that money for you until you have done that job. If you have done and completed that job, and then the client confirms that, oh, this person has done the job, it is okay to pay her, then the platform will pay you after taking out their own service charge. So always use platform that has escrow, because this not only protects your time, but it protects your payments. So I mentioned today's session isn't so it's it's deep, but it's more practical than theoretical. So key takeaways from this session has been freelancing is your gateway to global job opportunities and flexible work. It's a great space, if especially as a beginner, because it's a great space especially as a beginner, because then you get to you see other people, what other people's profile. No, you can't see what other people's profile are looking like, but you can do that with Upwork anyway. Not necessarily see what their profile, but at least you get to see um who your competitors are, like the way LinkedIn is. And platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, Freelancer, and more other different entry point there. So you have to just, use them, pick your poison. Then if the person says you haven't completed the job, then you show your, I think I talked about that with handling clients, where you do the screenshots and show your proof. You can upload this, send a query, and escalate it. So you want to know that platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, Freelancer, and many other different platforms are there for you to pick your style. And it's okay to try out all of them. At least that prepares you. That gives you like a an eagle's eye of what is out there and how you can adjust yourself, positioning yourself properly. Now remember that a strong profile, a clear proposal is equal to better chances of being hired. So I want you all to stay smart and watch out for scams. And then I want you to also work through very secure platforms. It's going to be hard to trace this out, to check out, but then over time you would learn this. You all at this, all of you that have, that has worked this journey with me to this point, I strongly believe in my heart that you are all ready to build your freelancing part as confident virtual assistant. It's all baby steps, and I promise you, you're going to learn on the job. You're going to learn. Every mistake is a learning curve. So don't think yourself as a failure. Learn your lessons and try again. Now, this is another session for questions. If you have questions, please send them in so that I can. Awesome. That's the spirit, Temitope. So right now, I'm opening the floor for questions. If there are any, please share them with me so I can help. If the question is regarding the projects, let me hear them so that I can help. For the project, the teaching assistants are going to help answer that question regarding how you're going to submit it. Well, that question will solely depend on if they need you and if you're able to render a service that they are interested in. Is there age restrictions for entry level? No, there is no age restrictions. No, none that I am aware of anyway. But if there is any, the job would let you know that, oh, this is for, we're looking for persons from this age to that age, or people with this number of experience. So Mayo, I hope so too, because that's the only project that I know that I and my colleague has shared. Except there is another project that is being talked about. Tommy, the project slide was shared with you. This question, you know, you just read through it and then you will get it. I think it's on the 20 something of this month. Amber, please help answer Tommy Johnson's question concerning um when the project should be submitted. Of course, you can use that as your portfolio, Badakemi. But then you also have to mention how you helping them with calls, what it did to improve the company, did it reduce, what did it help with? So yes, you can add an experience like that, but you also have to say, I did this and I got this result. So I helped them with their calls. They did increase customer conversion. You have to also sell value as you're also telling them what you can do. Thanks, Amber. Thank you to everybody that is answering the question. Tilda, if your employer wants you to use specific tools, there's a reason why they want you to do it, so you have to do it. You can offer solution and say, oh, I am more proficient in Google and it's able to still do the same thing. Would you be open to allowing me use Google? If person says yes, you can go ahead. If person says no, you have to use the tools that they want you to use, especially when it comes to CRMs. Especially when it comes to CRMs, customer relationship management tools. There are some of them that the client must have probably subscribed to. So yes, you have to use tools that the employer wants you to use. That's where you have to now learn the onboarding session. You have to go and do some research concerning the onboarding on how to use those platforms. I'm sorry to hear that, Formula. I'm glad you've learned a lesson, though, and I know that you would be a lot more careful next time. All right. So now this assignment, I am not expecting anybody to submit it. This is just for you to go and practice on so that you are able to, perfect the skill of practicing how to your in your freelance introduction to freelancing. Choose one freelancing platform, create or simulate their profile. Simply just create a profile and just ready yourself for prospects jobs. Draft a professional bio and service that you're offering, and then try out writing a job proposal on your own. Use this to anticipate, your debut entry into the world of freelancing. I will leave this page on so that we can, maybe write this down if we want to. But this this would bring us to the end of today's session. I'm super excited, more than all of you, as because today's session gets to, end earlier. I am hoping that we all get to rest. I know I'm going to rest. Tomorrow is, I got to hear that that tomorrow is Democratic Day. So yes, I'm just going to, embrace that holiday. Please let's all stay safe. I heard that there's going to be some sort of protest concerning the whole We Are Hungry movement. Please let's all stay safe and learn to mind your business, regardless of how protests are supposed to be saying or sending some kind of, voice to the government. Let's be wise, let's stay safe. And if you must go out to protest, please be safe. Do not, don't try to fight fire for fire because it never ever ends well. I want us to have an amazing night's rest. Good night from here. The DSA team will share this slide with you if any of you need it. I'll see you all tomorrow. Good night.